All right, welcome back. Now, there are few games like the game of chess. And the game of chess has cut across the world in so many different ways. In the studio with us this morning is the master of chess himself, Tunde Onakoya. Now, he's the founder of Chess in Slums, Africa. It's a non-profit organization that uses the game of chess as a framework to teach academic skills, critical thinking skills, and a lifelong love for learning to children.
And of course, you're here. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria. It's amazing having you here, seeing the great work you've done. And also, congratulations on winning the Future Awards for President Community Action. I think that was really, really amazing and definitely well-deserved. So now, can you give us a brief start or a brief rundown on how the idea of chess in slums started?
All right, thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome.
So how it all started tells a bit of my own personal story. So I grew up in Ikorodu, somewhere in Saleodo, in the slum community, and so there was a point in my life that I was out of school for 2 years after my basic education because things were not too pretty at the time. My parents couldn't afford to pay my tuition, and so it was in that time I discovered chess. So I used to go to a barbering salon to play video games. And on one of those days, they just brought out a small plastic chess set. And I was just fascinated by the way the pieces were carved. It just sparked curiosity. And I was, I think, 10 years old at the time. So I was just curious. I wanted to know what it was. I'd never seen a chessboard before. And he told me it was chess. And I remember saying chess. I know chess. Okay, and that was it. It was just love at first sight. And yeah, so he didn't teach me, but I would just watch them play it. And after some time, I was able to just pick up the fundamentals, the rules of the game. And so when I eventually got into school, fortunately, the school I attended actually had chess as a subject. They had it as a part of the curriculum. Like, we wrote exams at the end of the term.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we had tournaments. I think the owner, the proprietor had a foundation that would set chess tournaments every year. And yeah, that was it. So that was how my passion for chess was birthed. And I won a tournament.
Fast forward to 2018.
Yeah.
What was the tournament you won, 2018?
In 2018 was when I started Chess in Slums project, right? But professionally, I was ranked number 13 in Nigeria. I won a couple of tournaments. Wow. I was a double gold medalist at the NIPOG Games. I won the Chevron Chess Open, the National Friends of Chess, the Opens category, and a couple of tournaments, right? But I stopped playing professionally in 2015.
Why?
To focus on teaching kids.
Oh, okay, so focus on teaching kids.
Wow.
Amazing.
They say those who don't do teach. And you've had the opportunity to teach kids in different communities.
Sure.
There was a lot of publicity around when the Canadian High Commissioner visited Oshodi. Can you tell us how that came to be?
Well, so we launched Chess in Slums in 2018, and I mean, basically, we're using chess as a vehicle to get children from some communities, get them back to school. And it really borders around reimagining education in a more inclusive way. Chess in itself is an educational resource because it teaches kids how to think independently. And that is what I believe education is, the capacity for independent thought. So wanting to reimagine education in a way that includes them, children that are out of school. And we started from Ikorodu, then we went to Makoko, then we went to even Burkina Faso, then finally Oshodi. And the Oshodi project was very different because Oshodi is one of the most dangerous ghettos on that bridge there, right? And we did it. Like, one of the most dangerous ghettos in Lagos became a classroom for those area boys, those street kids that have been neglected, to not just learn chess, but gain mastery of it. And the world saw that, believed in the power of their dreams, and they came down to celebrate them. So that was how that happened. The Canadian Embassy came, the High Commissioner. We had the Canadian Navy come down to play chess against the boys.
Wow. That's actually very interesting. Now, as you said, I mean, Oshodi being very notorious, right? And of course, we all know these kids were not yet in school and all of that. We know chess is really tasking. Now, what was it like getting to teach these kids the game of chess, considering the fact that you need a lot of concentration? How could you get them to that point where they had to concentrate?
Yeah, good question, because chess is a very complex game, right? And the challenges that we had, the obvious one was being able to, I mean, how do you teach a child that cannot speak English, that a rook moves vertically and horizontally?
Yeah.
There was that barrier. But then, that was why we even did it in the first place, because we wanted to show that for them too, right, they can be intellectually inclined. Chess is an elite game. It's a game for the elites, right? You wouldn't place chess and slums together, right? It's only for intellectuals. We wanted to change the narrative, right, by showing that it is indeed possible to do great things from a small place. Now, these children, the only difference between them and us in our own privilege is access to opportunities, right? And they were able to learn it in ways that I'd never seen before, right? Something that probably took me a year, it took them a couple of months to just understand it and gain mastery of it.
Wow.
Right? And that tells the story of like the Nigerian child, especially those ones in these marginalized places, impoverished communities that we don't think too much of because of their present circumstance, because of the life that poverty has chosen for them. For the world to see that they have potential. I mean, talent is universal. It's just the opportunities that are not. So using chess as a medium to show the world the beauty of their mind, the abilities of their mind, translates to every other thing, right? And they were able to learn it and learn it well. So,
I have to ask, you know, what is next? You've given a nice spotlight on certain communities now. You've even been outside the country. You've been to Burkina Faso.
yeah.
But what is next for Chess in Slum? I'm thinking about how far you could take this and how big your dreams are.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my greatest aspiration, right, is to do two things. First one is to teach chess, give the gift of chess to 1 million children over the next 10 years, right, and build the biggest chess academy in the world, right, as a way, because, like I said, I believe education is the capacity for thought, right. I want to build an academy for street children, poor children, where they could come, learn, have a roof over their heads, learn skills that will prepare them for the future of work, because the world is constantly evolving. So that is a dream for me personally. But for the organization, right, we're looking to scale up from here. We've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now. So we want to reach more communities. We have a model that works. I mean, it worked in Oshodi Under Bridge, one of the worst places to ever think about. But there are still so many slum communities, there are IDP camps, there are places where unimaginable things happen, there are so many vulnerable children. So we want to take this model that we have found that works and replicate it across all slum communities, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa. Give children the gift of chess, right, and help them get education in a way that prepares them for the future, for their own future, right? Because if the world is not paying attention to them, they will become a liability to that future that we dream about, right? So the only future we're dreaming of is one that must include all of them. Children that have been marginalized in these impoverished communities, so they can build the life that they want for themselves, not one that poverty has chosen for them.
Amazing. Very, very deep,
And it's a vision that it feels larger than life, and it feels possibly like it could be bigger than just one person.
Yes.
Definitely.
So maybe strategic partnerships and the like will have to happen for that to go down. You were going to ask something?
Yes, I was actually going to ask a personal question, if you don't mind. So not too long ago, there was this backlash on Twitter concerning your account, right? So I think something personal went on the page, and there was a little bit of confusion there. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you mind clarifying a little bit what exactly happened there?
Oh boy. So I posted my girlfriend on my Twitter account. So because it gained quite popular. I mean, this time last year I had maybe 1,000 followers, but now I have almost 200,000. So a lot more people follow. People have followed the project over time.
Yeah.
So, and I post anything, music. I have a lot of interest. And I just posted my girlfriend, and
What happened? What exactly happened?
Someone said you didn't follow me to be posting my girlfriend.
Wow. Someone actually said that.
On my own personal page. I mean, the organization has its own social media account, right?
Okay.
You know, but it caused a bit of a ruckus on Twitter. I mean, I was trending the entire day, Tunde this, Tunde that.
Okay.
Well, the way I say it, the thing is, I would continue to live life on my own terms. Like, these are things that make me happy, and this is how I choose to, like, live. It doesn't in any way affect what I do or So, I mean, it was just funny to me because I'd never experienced something like that before. And
All right.
it just shows how people's perception, you know, when you attain
A
the
certain
level, the
level.
Yeah, they
standard,
don't
people
expect
put you on a
you to.
pedestal
Yeah.
and they have expectations.
Expectations,
Yeah.
true. True.
Oh, but you know, the social media life that we're living these days.
Very
Now, I think we have a clip or two that we can show right now. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be taking you to the kitchen in a bit.
Okay.